Hi, this is Dave R. Taylor. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here at Impartner. Impartner is the world's leading SaaS provider of partner relationship management solutions. We've just recently introduced in our fall release quite a few new exciting features, one of which we want to speak with you about today. It's a tool called Segment AI. This is a new segmentation engine that we've introduced to our PRM software. It allows vendors and channel managers to automatically and very intelligently segment partners based on a variety of criteria: partner type, reseller, referral partner, distributor, partner tier, gold, silver, platinum, geographic regions, so many different things, including we've seen some of our customers using this to create what they call fast track programs, where a new partner that's being onboarded, they want to provide a different experience through the portal for the first 30 days, and then they want to drop them into more of a traditional program. So the concept of thinking through programs rather than tiers, languages, geographies, etc., and structuring specific partner experiences and program attributes according to those programs really has kind of ushered in a new era of precision in channel management, making it easy for people making it easy for our customers to apply resources, content, spiffs, anything they want to apply to specific programs within their overall channel program. When we announced and released our fall release of Impartner PRM, it fortunately coincided with a core strategy report release from SiriusDecisions talking about the criticality of partner program segmentation. I'm excited to have with me here today Chris Cleary, who is the Channel Sales Strategies Services Director at SiriusDecisions. Chris, it's great to have you here to talk about this hot topic.
Thanks, Dave. Pleasure to be here.
Hey, so segmentation, it's been a big deal for us. It's been a big deal for our customers. What led Sirius to the position of issuing a core strategy report? I know you don't do core strategy reports on things that the SiriusDecisions team doesn't see as being kind of key in the market. What led you to this one?
You're spot on that as far as the need, the demand, and the requirement for partner segmentation in the marketplace. While segmentation in theory may not be something new, what we've seen and our clients tell us on a daily basis is that partner demands are growing, and the resources to support those demands may not necessarily be growing at the same pace. So what we see happens most often is that suppliers inside of their partner ecosystem start dedicating resources and prioritizing resources towards the traditional top revenue producers, the top 20%, if you will, the 80-20 rule that still exists somehow in the channel. That might not necessarily be the most appropriate way or guidance for resources. So what our clients are looking for is a more strategic way to guide, balance their investments from both a human and capital resource perspective into a new way. How can they be guided towards investments for partners that aren't just producing top-line revenue today, but are in line with the growth strategies, the values of the supplier for the future?
So in essence, what you're saying, which really resonates with us in Impartner, is in the past, the traditional view has been you focus on the top tier, the bottom tier you either jettison from your program to free up a little more flow, or you just ignore them and assume that eventually they'll go away. One of the things that we're fairly passionate about is saying absolutely focus some resources at that top tier. But what if you could take the bottom tier and turn them into a top tier by providing a more specific and customized program or focus or incentives or program terms and conditions? Or what if there's something that you can do to make everybody perform at the level of your top tier? Is that where you're going?
All right. So with regards to the investment decisions, you need a mechanism. The Matrix provides this by taking your specific information that's important to you and to your business and to your partner ecosystem, and allows you inspection and understanding of the why. Why are those lowest performing partners performing low? It may be something as simple as coaching all the way through. They may be new to the partner program itself. So then by taking that, understanding the why, getting to the bottom of that, both for your under or low performing partners, from your core group of partners, and also partners that have demonstrated growth potential and excellence in performance, understanding why, and then applying your resources appropriately to either grow, develop, or maintain those types of partners.
Excellent. Makes so much sense. Now, you talk about the matrix, the partner segmentation process matrix that people work their way through. I've looked at it, and it really makes a lot of sense to me. Give me kind of the highlights on what those steps are. And I think you've typically talked about it as being kind of 5 steps, but there's a kicker at the end, kind of a secret step. Walk me through that.
So on paper, it's 6, but as we say, it's 1 through 5, then optimize. Everything we do with SiriusDecisions, after you either adopt or operationalize a model, then the next step, the last step is to optimize that. So as far as the segmentation process itself, the 5 core steps go from discovery, where that's understanding the why. Why does a partner perform a way? Taking the data, collecting it, understanding from multiple sources why the partner stands where they are today inside of your program. Next up is the ideation, really understanding what good looks like today so that you can apply that back to what good is going to have to look like tomorrow. Next up is the assessment and the assessment tool itself. This is where we really start to get into the nuts and bolts of the segmentation matrix itself. It allows you, the client, to apply the relevant weighing scales of importance, characteristics of a partner that looks great today, but also by placing future value, characteristics and metrics on that future value for tomorrow, and putting it into a tool, then assigning weight to that tool, which produces an output. So taking that information from the collection stage into the actual assessment stage, then allowing you to segment based on the first 3 steps, allows you to segment your partners by growth potential, not by just their traditional, as you mentioned earlier, by the geography, by the tiering, by the gold, silver, platinum standards, and then taking that information and putting it into an execution model. This is really where the rubber hits the road. So taking the data that you've collected, the ideas, because without any action, all the steps prior to that really have no value. So by taking that, putting it into an actual segmentation engagement plan for your partners based on the criteria and the outputs of that model, that then allows you to have your segmentation model and matrix in place. And then the last step, as we said earlier, it's all about optimization, taking the tools, the technology, and the process itself, making sure that you have clear visibility into any headwinds or tailwinds and be able to make adjustments accordingly.
Yeah, and we've heard so many people talk about what it takes to be very successful, both in a channel program and in any program in general, is that right combination of having the right people, having the right processes, having the right tools. In this circumstance, I think the people can be both your internal employees, but also the partners that you're working with. Processes, I think, is something that has been lacking, and we see the role that SiriusDecisions plays in the market as being really bringing out this concept of it's not hit or miss. There are very specific processes that you should be working through to optimize your channel. When it comes to tools, though, one of the things obviously that we're passionate about is we do provide the tools to people that kind of layer across all 6 of those, or 5 plus the optimization step across all of those. As you think through those kind of 6 steps, we meet a lot of people that are working on channel programs, and I find them all kind of layered through that. Some are in the ideation, some are already have the program, they're working to enhance it, and then many people should be, but maybe are not quite yet in that optimization stage. But where does SiriusDecisions see kind of the biggest hiccups being for a kind of a typical customer?
That question really is it's far-reaching, and the reason why I say that is because depending upon the maturity of the partner program, there are a number of pitfalls that we see clients experience along the way. But I would probably say the most common is that there's no consistency across the way that a supplier measures their partner ecosystem. You may be receiving information from Asia Pacific that doesn't necessarily correlate or can be mapped out against your partner program or ecosystem inside of North America. But by having a tool or a measurement capability so that you can readily and consistently segment your partners based on consistent and a level playing field of information, that's one of the most critical, important steps of the segmentation process.
So, Chris, in SiriusDecisions perspective, what do you see being kind of the biggest roadblock that a vendor has in kind of ironing out the wrinkles in their channel? Is it knowing where to start? Is it the optimization stage? Where do you see people hitting roadblocks?
All the above. So on that, we see, depending upon the maturity of the partner program, what stage that they're at, whether it's launching the program or a client that has had an existing channel for 25 years. The challenges are different based on maturity, but one thing that is consistent is the need and the requirement for properly enabling, selling through, and understanding investment decisions for their channel. This is why segmentation, it comes back to in almost every discussion, really guiding your investment decisions beyond the typical 80-20 rule for revenue production, aligning the growth strategies, the commitment of your partner ecosystem back to the supplier strategic initiatives. So making sure, as you've solidified and understood what your strategic goals are for your business over the next 12, 18, 36, 5 years down the road, and making sure that the partner ecosystem is aligned with those growth strategies. Because the consistent message that we hear and we see through our research is that the partners that are producing well for you today, regardless of maturity stage, most likely will not be the same partners that are producing for you 5 years down the road or 3 years down the road. Therein lies the tie back to the segmentation matrix. It's an ongoing process. It's not a one-time event. We recommend this event happening on every 6 to 12 months, making sure that the data that you're analyzing and inputting into a tool like you're bringing to the market is updated and is consistent with your growth strategy, your goals, not just short-term but long-term, and making sure that you apply that segmentation criteria back to your partner ecosystem on an ongoing basis.
That really strongly resonates with our perspective on this. We look at the lack of business analytics or channel analytics as being one of the key things that holds back the success of an indirect program in general, simply because it's the feedback loop that you've talked about that is missing. So, I can tell when we meet a company that has an effective and a vibrant channel program, I can tell that they have some feedback mechanism in place, because if you don't, your program becomes stagnant. Your top producers today are your top producers a year from now, and there's no change to that. And really the goal is to inject more vibrancy into the program. I mentioned earlier one of our customers has a fast track program, that it was a unique way for them to think about segmentation, to say, rather than spending all our time and effort in the top 10%, we're going to take every new partner that we onboard and we're going to focus our time and our effort and our energy on them, trying to drive them into the top 10%, but we do it with analytics in place so that we know whether it's working or not. And by the end of the first 30, 60 days, we know whether that partner is going to make it into the top 10 or not, and we'll drop them into a different program segment and change our time and dollar expenditure accordingly. So we totally agree with that. If we were speaking to a potential customer today, and they said, makes sense, I'd love to get started. I know in your core strategy report you have a segmentation matrix that seems to me to be a great way to kind of start the process of looking into your program, taking some analytical snapshots of your program. What would you say to somebody that was wondering kind of what step to take?
First step is that collect. Understanding where your program sits today. Timely information, consistent information, making sure that you have the numbers behind the program. So that's one aspect. Now, again, the key to the segmentation process is not just analyzing past performance, right? Having clear view into that is critically important, but really adding an additional layer to the traditional segmentation characteristics that we talked about earlier. The geography-based segmentation, the tiering-based, the revenue-based, adding that value criteria into the segmentation matrix. So taking your lagging indicators, all those performance KPIs that we've discussed, adding on the critical growth and future alignment metrics and KPIs, bringing them together to create that value assessment for your partner ecosystem. Those really are the two steps that would go hand in hand. So understanding where you are today and also understanding where you want to be tomorrow, that's what gets married inside of the segmentation matrix, and that's what allows you to guide, and that's what the matrix allows you to guide the investment decisions for the future.
I really think what you say is very important when you talk about understanding where you want to be. I think the people we see that are the most successful in their channel program initiatives are the ones that have a clear mandate for where they want to drive the business, so that rather than becoming a wouldn't it be great if type of scenario, we see customers who have, right from the top levels of the company, a mandate that we must succeed or excel in our indirect channel business. Those are the people that we really see succeed. So I really like that, your comment of having a vision for the future. Also, going along with what you're saying, it is very much low-hanging fruit. The indirect channels represent roughly 70% of the revenue generated by most of our customers. So if you're looking for one key place to focus your time and energy that will generate a big return and increase your ability to scale your revenue and grow your business, this is low-hanging fruit. This is a great place to start. It's always exciting for us when the direction that we're headed with our technology and our enabling tools lines up this clearly with with somebody that has the insight that a SiriusDecisions group has on this. So we love that. I know that if people are wondering how to take that first step, I know that SiriusDecisions offers an awesome advisory service for that. So please download the document. Let us know. We're happy to make an introduction to Chris or people on the SiriusDecisions team. Hey,
sure.
Chris Cleary, SiriusDecisions, thank you so much for your time. This is Dave Taylor. I want to thank everybody for your time today. Thank you.